This material is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back, adventurers. You're listening to Tipsy Geeks Unite, where fandoms collide and drinks are always flowing.
I'm Miss Kate.
And I'm Tabby Cat. Together, we're diving into the worlds of anime, games, streaming sagas, and all things geeky, with a boozy twist.
So grab your potion, power-ups, and let's get nerdy.
Cheers to Season 3. Let's roll.
Tabby, we're back.
Hey, yes.
And we are talking about something that was far out of my realm. And I'm
a little bit out of my realm too.
Yeah, it's definitely something both of us are kind of new to, and we're talking about Fallout, the show, and the games that we played that show. We got to see some Easter eggs, I guess you would call it. So this is gonna be an episode where Tabby and I talk about what we take away from Fallout. We are by no means Fallout experts.
No.
Not at all. I know there's a lot of deep lore. And I will touch base on some of it because I kind of went down a rabbit hole. But by all means, not an expert. This is our perspectives on Fallout. But the show, I watched the show recently. Tabby just finished it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we are very much excited to talk about this because I know in your community and my community, a lot of Fallout fans. So we hope you guys enjoy this episode. Again, this is from our perspectives, from our knowledge, what we've read, listened, and watched, and played. So, yeah, but before we get into Fallout, Tabby, what are you sipping on?
So, kind of trying to go Fallout-ish themed. I'm drinking, don't usually drink this, but I was like, this seems more up Fallout's alley. I'm drinking a rum and coke, like Nuka-Cola.
Ooh!
And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a High Noon. There's a lot of Western aspects to Fallout.
Yeah.
So I thought a nice vodka seltzer would go well. So that's what I'm sipping on. It's a passion fruit flavor. It's delicious. Didn't think I would like it, but I do.
Yeah.
We're both finally sipping on something this season.
Yeah, finally.
Not sick. You're not sick. I'm not and I'm not fucking hungover. Oh, but yeah, so the Fallout show, I believe, and Tabby, you might know, came out last year?
I think it was this year. Let me see. Let me Google.
Well, while Tabby gets a date, it came out recently. It's very new. And I had so many people telling me, Caitlin...
Oh, no, you're right. It's 2024. Sorry.
Yeah, it came out till, like, the late 2024, I think.
April 10th, 2024.
Never mind. Spring. Anyways, when it came out, everyone was like, oh my god, Caitlin, watch it. And just some context. I did not like Fallout. Even before the show came out, I did not like Fallout. I am not a sci-fi post-apocalyptic girly. I am a D&D, fairies, elves, magic, dragons kind of girl. And it's very rare for me to play anything sci-fi. And so I have played 1.25 Fallout games. I did not enjoy them. I will say later on in the episode, I wouldn't say a change of heart, but an open mind process has changed to Fallout. But I was against watching Fallout. Everyone said it was a great show. I was like, I don't give a shit. I don't want to watch it. I'm not interested. It's Fallout. I don't give a fuck. And this year, actually, I had my sister, of all people. She's not a hardcore gamer. She does play games with me and sometimes her husband. But I would never expect her to watch Fallout. It's not something she would watch out of the regular, right? She told me. So I watched Fallout and I was like, what the fuck? Why? And she said, I've heard so much about it. I couldn't find anything to watch, and she like me, she works from home, so I like having something on. And she started watching it, and she said it's really fucking good. She's like, I don't know shit about Fallout or the games, only from what I've seen you play. And I watched it, and she said the story was. She's like, it's good story, but she said most of all, it's very fun to watch. So when my sister tells me she likes it, I'm like, uh, okay, okay. So I sat down and I put it on, and I binged it in a day. I really fucking like the
That's so
show.
crazy to me.
Why is it crazy?
Because the episodes are very long. Like the first episode, I think it's like an hour and a half long.
I watch so
I
much
think.
like Asian television that the episodes themselves are an hour and a half long, and there's like 25 episodes sometimes. So like for me,
God.
well, I'm up early, so I wake up at like 5 a.m. every day. So for me, I was able to binge it. I mean, granted, I didn't go to bed till like 2 or 3 a.m., but I work from home, so it's not a big deal. But I was actually shocked because you and I were talking before we started recording. Another kind of game world universe that people are really into that you and I are not into is Borderlands. And that movie came out and it just fucking took a shit. It took a massive shit.
It
And
didn't do any favors for the
no. And
series.
I don't like the games. Like I played again 1.25, and I was just like, this is not for me. Like I don't do it. And if I had to pick, I would pick Fallout over Borderlands. I will fucking die on this hill. I will kill anybody who tries to get on this hill. So anyways, so the only I think video game show that's come out in the last several years that was really fucking good and stayed true to the kind of the universe was The Last of Us. And you and I have our very strong opinions of The Last of Us and the fact that it needs to die. But
Yeah,
the show itself was really good. I haven't
I
watched
have no opinion on it.
I haven't watched the second season because I know it starts going into the territory of the second game, which I despise the second game for The Last of Us. But I was very surprised that Fallout, even though it doesn't follow an exact story, like the video, like it doesn't follow an exact story of one of the Fallout video games, it stays true to the universe, and it's very fucking good because each Fallout game is a standalone game per se for the most part, but it's in the same universe. And the show itself kind of fills in holes between the different games from some of the stuff I've watched online.
Are the different games in different times?
Mm-hmm.
Like years?
Yeah, so what as we talk about the Fallout show, I'll kind of point out some Easter eggs and like the timeline, and then when we talk about the games that you and I played. But basically, Fallout the show happens like 15 years after Fallout New Vegas, quote unquote. This is from material that I've read and heard from like hardcore Fallout fans. So don't fucking quote me. But it's supposed to happen like 15 years after Fallout New Vegas. So, but each of them have their own timelines. Like Fallout New Vegas happens 3 or 4 years after Fallout 3. I don't know shit about Fallout 4, but I know 3 and Fallout New Vegas. I know those two games pretty well.
Yeah.
But Fallout 4 I haven't touched that at all.
And I've only played 4, so I only know 4 stuff.
Yeah. So, from my knowledge, yes, Fallout the show happens after New Vegas game. So, I don't know when Fallout 4 happens after 3 or New Vegas, but it's
And neither of us know anything about Fallout 1 and 2, I guess.
Fuck no. No, don't know jack shit about them. So we're not even gonna. Those probably won't be mentioned at all. Don't know a heaping pile of fucking jack shit about it. Um, but so the Fallout show, interesting enough, the creators, and the reason why I know when I watched Fallout and then I did the notes for the show, I was like, no wonder why I liked it. So the creators of Westworld, the show Westworld, are the
Oh.
did Fallout show.
Oh,
And
I like Westworld.
I liked Westworld. I mean, the later seasons got kind of dumpy, but I say the first two seasons are peak.
I only watched the first season, but I loved it.
It was great. It was such a, like, it's beautiful. The storytelling and narrative, like, all of that was great. And it, like, was very, like, riveting. I was like, I usually don't watch shit like this. And people were talking about the show at my old job. And I sat down and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. And I watched it and I was like, this is actually pretty fucking good. Holy shit. So when I was doing the notes for the Fallout show and I saw that the creators of Westworld did Fallout, I was like, no wonder why it's just good because they know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, great attention to detail, and we'll get into like the Easter eggs and stuff from like what I saw from the games that I played, and I'm sure Tabby has some stuff from hers. So, but yeah, Tabby, do you want to start off with the story of the Fallout show? I'll hand it over to you since you watched it recently.
Yeah, so we kind of have split main character narratives that all kind of converge together. And because everything sort of becomes intertwined with the main goal of season one. So we start out with Lucy. I guess you could say she's our main character out of everybody. Lucy McLean, who is an inhabitant of Vault 33. And so we follow her predominantly. And Vault 33 is, you know how I love how all the vaults in throughout the games are like every vault is different
Mm-hmm.
in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find out later that vaults 31, 32, and 33 are all like interconnected together. And it sounds like Vault 33 has a history of uh, I might be being too detailed in this covering, but they all have a history of like interbreeding with each other
Mm-hmm.
to like
Yeah.
increase the population,
Yeah.
which makes sense. It's like, well, you can't just like keep breeding just in one vault because then
Yeah.
you
Inbreeding.
don't have a great, yeah, inbreeding. You don't have a great gene pool. So reaching out to the other vaults they're connected to is the best way to keep the gene pool diverse and less
Yeah.
inbreeding.
And
Uh,
yeah, I thought that was I didn't think about that until like I did the recap and now that you said it. And yeah, it was because I was thinking to myself, if these people are living in a vault, like how do they stop from inbreeding? Like how does that work if there's only like a selected few?
yeah, there's like a few dozen in each vault.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I like one thing I want to point out is I love how the show starts in a vault because almost every
yeah,
single Fallout game starts out from a vault.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Or yeah, is predominantly starts in the vault. Like
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4 is a little bit different, but kind of starts in a vault. But I know Fallout 3 starts in a vault, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So they welcome in Vault 32, and right away you see the Vault 32 residents are kind of off, whereas Vault 31's residents are very civilized and like very 1950s core, uh, post World War II, uh, with their kind of morals and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
very meritocracy and stuff. Then these kind of like unwashed and unkempt Vault 32 people come in and basically Lucy gets paired up with her quote unquote husband, like to mate and raise a family together. And I'm like, oh girl, oh no. Like this guy walks up to her and he's supposed to be hot, but he's like all greasy and gross. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
like when I saw him, I was like,
ew.
uh,
And
what?
then Lucy's best friend is like Lucky. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but the guy she did they I don't remember if they showed the guy she married and she was pregnant with.
Yeah. Um,
He's kind of grim.
yeah. Oh, I forgot her name. Her name's not Betty. That's a different character. The blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she didn't have like a handsome husband, but we don't really get to know his character because Vault 32 is actually a band of raiders that are not the actual Vault 32
No,
residents.
they're part of the NRC, the New Republic
Oh,
of California.
yeah, yeah. Well, we learned that later,
Yeah.
but yeah. And basically, Lucy's having sex with the guy like right away. I love how she's so sex positive. She's like DEF
Yeah.
immediately, of course. And then as soon as they're done, she like puts on the Pip Boy and she finds out he's all radiated. And I was like, "Oh, girl, you have radiation coming you. Gross."
Ew, your cum's radiating. Gross, you're gonna have a mutated baby.
Well, thank God. Hopefully that will not be a plot point. Wasn't in season one.
Right? She
uh,
finds out she's pregnant in season 2.
oh, well, we don't know what like the time lapse was for season one from start to end, but immediately like all of the the uh not the raiders, but the Vault 32 people, imposters, start killing off everyone in Vault 33 and take Lucy's father. And Lucy tries to hide her brother. She has a brother, which I didn't think would be such an important character later on,
Right?
because he kind of starts off being like a loser,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of. He's like a negative, like sort of doesn't fit in with the whole
He's
vault.
a black sheep, yeah.
Yeah, he is the black sheep. That's a good word for him. So a lot of the residents of Vault 33 are killed off. And Lucy's father gets, excuse me, kidnapped by the leader of these Vault 32 people, which is called Moldive, and
Maldive, yeah.
Moldive, and taken to wherever their base is, which we find out later is the new California Republic. Um, and Lucy just wants to get her father back. They have no mother. She died a long time ago. So Lucy is this bright eyed, bushy tailed, like sweet little main character that wouldn't hurt a fly. And now she goes up to the surface and has to survive on the top in the Fallout universe to try and find her father and bring him
Yeah.
back.
And this whole time, like when you get introduced to Lucy, you see that like her everyone there thinks that they're going to do the reclamation, which what the reclamation is like they're making like repopulating the surface, and they've been in the vault their entire lives that they have no idea what the fuck is going out on the surface. And this is like 216 years after the initial bomb, the nuke
219, sorry.
219 the nukes hit. So
Yeah.
they are so naive, and you see Lucy's just incredibly like naive. Like she can stand her own, because I think a nice thing when she's applying for the marriage thing, she's listing all the hobbies she's good at. So like she's good at maintenance, she's good at fencing, she's good at gymnastics. And if you guys ever played Fallout, you know you can put different stats into, or put points into different stats in the games. Like you can create your own builds, but sometimes you can make some off the wall shit. That's what I did. But I thought that was a nice touch that they added that. And another nice touch is in Fallout, to heal yourself, you use a stim pack. And so when Lucy gets stabbed by her quote unquote husband, she uses a stim pack to heal herself.
Yes. And I love that they brought in the stim packs and the jet
Yeah.
and psycho, like all the drugs that you can take
Mm-hmm.
to like increase your aggressiveness
Mm-hmm.
or like your muscle mass or heal up. I love all that stuff.
It's so fun, and the costume design, like immediately when you see them in
Oh yeah, really
their
good.
vaults costumes, I was like, that's spot on.
Yes, it's just Vault-Tec outfits are just great. I think just great wardrobe design in the first place. Very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like across all video games, you can immediately know it's a Fallout costume.
Yeah, you immediately recognize it, 100%. Yep, yep, yep.
And so then we hop over to Maximus, who you might be. I don't know. Are you going to have one of your hot takes on Maximus?
I have a whole hot take on the whole Brotherhood, but
Yeah, Brotherhood is, well, going to Maximus, we don't really have a lot of his background at first until much, much, much later. It's more fleshed out. Maybe not like fleshed out, but some holes are filled in. He doesn't get as much backstory as Lucy does. But basically, he survived a nuclear blast when he was a child by hiding in a fridge. And I feel like that's
it's
is
so
that like a
classic.
callback to Indiana Jones or something
I
from
mean,
that
yeah,
from one movie?
I think so too, but also like, dude, appliances from like the 1950s are fucking tanks. Like
Mm,
my great grandmother had still had some of her original appliances, and those things are fucking insane. I'm pretty sure I don't say I ever want to test it by say like a nuke by being in a fridge, but those things are like indestructible compared to the fucking appliances we get now.
yeah, that's true. Maybe it's like a 1950s Red Scare thing, like hide in the fridge when you know the
Well, they're
the
also
atomic blasts are
massive.
coming.
They're also
Yeah.
massive. They're like the size of a car. Like we saw an old 1950 vehicle at the mall the other day, my sister and I, and it was beautiful, like redone and everything. It was beautiful, but that thing was the size of a fucking boat. It took up two parking spots. It was huge.
The size of a boat.
And then me and my little Honda Fit's the size of a fucking Hot Wheel. Like,
I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Yeah, things are just built different. And I just gotta say, one thing, I'm not a big sci-fi person either, but like two things I love about Fallout universe and its aesthetic is it uses real retro futuristic designs from
Mm-hmm.
the 1950s,
Mm-hmm.
and they keep that
Yeah.
because that's sort of the decade they're stuck in because of their nuclear fallout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I love that it's based in our real world history because I love history. And so just that retro futuristic design and also the music, which I
Music's good. The music,
love 1920s to 1950s
it's
music,
good. It's
like
good.
which obviously is in the game. So in the games, and you can just like have your radio with all the old school music while you're just blasting away in the wastelands.
It's
Um,
very therapeutic when you're listening to some old time music and you're just blasting a ghoul in the face with a fucking
it is.
shotgun. It
It's so
just
chill.
feels good. Feels very
And
psychotic, and I like it.
right, like sometimes with the music in the show, it feels psychotic at times. It's like they put the music in great places, great songs. I loved it because that's
Well, and the
I just love
music's
old school music.
the aesthetic of the 1950s is the biggest part of Fallout, and the music is so very important to the whole universe. It is one of the key things,
Yeah.
other than like, you know, the designs and the like of the cars, the appliances, the outfits, the hair. It's the music is just one of the biggest parts, because in the
Yeah,
games and
really sets
in
the setting.
yeah, in the games and in the show, one of the biggest things of how people stay quote unquote connected is through a radio.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, just like listening to Bing Crosby, Ella Fitzgerald, the Ink Spots. I love listening to old music, especially like crooner music. I love crooner tunes. This sorry, little thing about me. I love crooner music.
I grew up
Uh,
with it because my great grandparents, that's all they would play. Very old
oh,
fashioned. It was like if I go to my great grandparents' house, well, not now that they're gone, but when they were still alive, it felt like I was in the 1950s. I liked it.
that's like going back to my grandparents' farm.
Yep, it's like going on an adventure into another world.
Yeah. So going back to Maximus. So he is a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, which I don't like.
Me
And
neither. Fuck the
even like,
Brotherhood.
right? Like, I don't think like they basic like Maximus and Thaddeus later will basically say like they're not the good guys or the bad guys, and it's like they're really not good.
But I think in when I was doing my research, because I didn't know, I only knew of the Brotherhood. I didn't know any other factions. Like I didn't know their names or what
Oh,
they were
there's
about.
so many
And when I
factions.
was doing the research, I was like, "Yo, fuck everything. This place sucks. Like there's no such thing as a good faction because they all have
Oh,
their own agendas."
I I think the Minutemen are the only
I know
like
nothing of them.
100%.
I know nothing
Okay,
of them.
maybe
You
it's
have
just
to
a
educate me.
Fallout 4. Okay, maybe it's just a Fallout 4 thing.
Yeah, but
Uh,
fuck the Brotherhood. And the show really showcased that the Brotherhood sucks some ding dong.
yes. So Preston, or sorry, I'm thinking of the Minutemen with Preston Jarvie now. Um, no, so Maximus, I thought was going to be like a Preston Jarvie clone, kind of.
Oh.
But Preston Jarvie is the Minutemen. So I was like, what am I thinking of? Like, no, Maximus is very different. I wanted to really like Maximus at first,
I
and
didn't. I
such
was
a fucking
He's
idiot
such a
making all these
bitch.
stupid
He's
choices
such a
and
bitch, dude.
lying.
He's such a
I
fucking bitch. But granted,
he
like we have to take in consideration that the like Lucy, he was very sheltered, just
yes,
on the
and
surface.
I think Lucy and him are very similar, which in similar but different.
They're
Like I
similar
think
because that they're both sheltered and naive, but opposite
yes,
because she's a vault dweller and he's a surface dweller.
sheltered in different ways,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they're also very idealistic people in different ways as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what makes them great together. Like I just want them to like now kiss
They did
because
kiss,
they
didn't
did.
they?
I know. They did kiss. I ship it. Uh,
I did. Well, when we get to that part of the story, but yeah, they were meant for each other, hands down.
hmm
100%.
So Maximus wants to be a squire for a big
Knight.
for a knight. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget their lingo.
Yeah.
So he and his friend have been training for to become a squire for forever. Like ever since Maximus was a child and he escaped from the nuclear fallout in his original.
Because wasn't he saved by, like, quote unquote, saved by knights? And so he
Yes.
idolizes them?
So yeah, he idolizes the Brotherhood, doesn't really know any other way of life because after what happened to him, I think he just like went immediately to the Brotherhood because there's no other backstory we've gotten for him. It's just nuclear fallout, then Brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so he has a very idealized way of thinking that the Brotherhood has taught him, and it's like all technology needs to be in the hands of the Brotherhood, and Brotherhood just has this
They're a
horrible
cult.
way of living.
They're a fucking cult.
They are a cult. It's very archaic
Mm-hmm.
ways of living,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know until later in the show that you're not even able to like procreate or have families or masturbate.
I know. I know. Like, I was like, so how do they sustain? But it's just them finding people and then inducting them into their cult. And a huge thing that I noticed that they were a big cult, because like in the video game, I was like, oh, the Brotherhood, well, fuck off, you guys suck. Anyways, bye. But like in the show, when like Maximus is he's like in class, and the teacher's like, reading him the importance of the Brotherhood, I was like, fucking cult. Hands down. It's a goddamn. But pretty much, I think all the, like, the majority, if not all of these fucking factions are cults.
Mm-hmm. So then Maximus's friend gets to be a squire for Knight Titus, but then his friend gets injured, and we don't know who injured his friend. Maximus gets blamed for it for some reason. It's like, you wanted to be a squire, but everybody wants to be a squire.
All my homies want to be a squire. What you mean?
Yeah, and it's like the first scene we get introduced to Maximus. He's getting beaten up, and then his friend gets razor blades in their boot. And then they're like, you're the one that did this to your best friend. You were jealous because they got to be a squire. And I'm like, Maximus just doesn't get a break, man.
Brother's just getting picked on.
But then he bullied. Just later on, he just does shit to himself too. And I'm like, I can't stop. I can't keep defending you, Maximus. I'm tired.
But it just he portrayed the nativity just so well.
Yeah. So instead of his friend getting picked to be a squire, Maximus ends up getting to be a squire instead for Knight Titus, and Knight Titus and Maximus are chosen to go find a relic that they need to bring back to the Brotherhood, because the Brotherhood's always trying to find like
they're tech based. They like old tech. Yeah, they're really focused on old tech, like old war tech. Yes. Hence them using those what are they, TI-60s or something like that?
Oh yeah, because they're like pre-war, aren't they? Is that what they said?
Yep, yeah. They're pre-war.
And so off they go into the wastelands to find and retrieve this artifact. Excuse me, I keep burping. Maybe it's the cola.
Carbonated drinks, baby.
Yes. And then we have the ghoul. And everyone loves the ghoul. Like
Walter Goggins. Walter Goggins is the goat. He's the fucking goat, bro. And he's just a badass.
And he does a great job with the character. He's like the best.
Oh, he's so good.
The best actors.
Walter Goggins, just any role that he's in, he just plays it so fucking well. Yeah, God.
I didn't connect it until like, what was it, episode 3 or 4 or something. I didn't connect it that the ghoul was
Cooper
the guy
Howard?
I didn't
what?
I know I didn't connect it. I'm sorry. He's the guy that in the very first scene, like
he's the actor. He's the famous actor, and he's a war hero.
Yeah. I didn't connect that until many episodes later. Maybe I'm just an idiot.
It's fine. At least you made the connection. There's probably people out there that never made the connection. Rip them.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. His face is different, okay? So, he's used to be a movie star and a big guy war hero back in the original, like, America before nuclear fallout and everything went to shit. So he's survived for over 219 years on this planet, and he's trying his first appearances. He's trying to get contracted to go find an artifact, and it's the same artifact everyone else is trying to find. And he just ends up like killing the people that want to hire him, and he's just like gonna go after it on his own or something.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter. So our main 3 characters are Lucy, Maximus, and the ghoul. I'm just calling him the ghoul.
I like Cooper the ghoul.
Cooper the ghoul. Yeah, okay, Cooper the ghoul it is.
Koopa.
The artifact turns out to be that we find out in episode 2, which also shows, I don't know if are there any dogs in Fallout 3?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I only know Fallout 4.
Yeah. So. I know in 3 you have a dog. I had a dog.
Yeah, I had a dog 2 and 4. Called Dog Meat. And in the show, the dog's name is CX40. Is it 404
Mm-hmm.
or something? It's
Mm-hmm.
CX404. And in real life, her name is Lana 5.
Aww. The baby.
Uh, yeah. And she's a, what is it? Shit, not a German Shepherd.
They're called like
She's,
Malois?
oh, Belgian Malinois. Yeah, she's a
Malinois,
Belgian
yeah.
Malinois. And so sweet. Poor little dog in this show. Like the horrific start to this episode. Oh my god, when they're burning
They're
the
incinerating them.
yeah, they're incinerating the
It's
puppies
because they're
that are
underweight.
too yeah, that are underweight. And then you see the scientist and he's weighing our little dog as a puppy and she's under 10 ounces, which you have to be at least 10 ounces to not be incinerated. And she's like 9.4 or something ounces. And
Yeah.
he checks her off anyway, even though she's underweight. And
Dr.
he's like,
Stiggy Wilzig.
yes, Dr. Wilzig. I forgot his name. Like basically takes the dog under his wing and treats her special and like he has a little home for her in his wall that he it has a little toy for her.
He
And I
raises
was like,
her,
oh
and
yeah,
she.
he raised her.
Yeah. So I want to point out an important thing of this. Dr. Wilzig and CX404, we'll call her the Precious. They are actually they are on a facility that's part of a very important faction of the Fallout universe, which is the Enclave. They're the big bads. They're the
Yes.
super bads.
Like the legitimate like government.
Yep, they
Like,
suck
wait.
dick.
Yeah. And they like are basically like shadow government, big bad, like trying to pull all the strings in the background.
Yep.
And basically Dr. Wilzig is kind of good. Like he injects what is the artifact into his head, like near the back of the neck, and is trying to literally transport it out of the Enclave. And he takes Precious with him, and basically he kind of gets caught while he's trying to run away, and he is on the run with Precious. And then everyone knows that, oh, the artifact is gone. So everyone's out there trying to find the artifact. And that's what Maximus and the ghoul are looking for as well, because they're like, whoever has the artifact controls the wasteland. And it's like, oh my god. And then Dr. Wilzig meets Lucy in episode 2 when she's just starting out. And oh, just a lot of stuff happens. Like, oh, how to even describe it. They get to a town called Philly. They meet a second time, and Dr. Wilzig is trying to say, like, oh, Lucy, you need to go home. This place isn't for you. You're from the vault. Your kind does not live long up here on the surface. And basically she's like, no, I need to find this Maldive person, and I need to find my dad.
And it turns out that Dr. Wilzig is on his way to see Maldive to deliver the artifact.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, what's that name? It's like everyone is connected.
Yep.
In the show. And when they're in Philly, that's when the ghoul finds Dr. Wilzig and Lucy, and then Maximus crashes. Well, okay, so and in the meantime, with Maximus and his knight before they get to Philly is like, I want to shoot something, and then they hop off their transport, which was taking them to Philly, and basically meet a radiated bear, and like Maximus's knight is a big dick. Like,
he's just
him,
a pretentious, cocky piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he gets what's coming to him.
A lot of people in the Brotherhood are.
They're just like fucking arrogant dipshits.
Yeah, they're big muscle heads.
Yes.
It's like this guy has the big power armor on, and he's like, Maximus, go in there and see what's in that cave. And it's like, there's a giant radiated bear in that cave, and you have all the armor, and Maximus has no armor.
He's just a
And
pussy. He's scared. Even in the armor, he was such a pussy.
yeah, it was like, you wanted to shoot something, like, you dickhead. So Maximus, like, lures out the bear. The bear attacks Knight Titus. And he's like, oh my God, Maximus, help me. And he's like rolling around like a rag doll in this power armor with this bear while Maximus just, excuse me, I keep burping, oh my God, um just like shoots just one shot into the bear's skull. And it's like, well, whenever I was playing Fallout 4, that it did not take one bullet to bring down an
Oh
irradiated
hell no! Hell no!
and then Knight Titus is like whining like a little bitch and being a stupid head, and Maximus just basically kills him.
He's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm taking the armor.
I was like, what the fuck?
Uh,
Oh my God. I was like, Maximus, you're not a good boy anymore. He like kills Kit Knight Titus.
I mean, to
takes
be
the
fair,
armor.
if you were treated like shit and the guy's like begging you for help, I let that fucker die. I'd be like, all right, see you later, dude. Fuck around and find
Yeah.
out, you stupid hoe.
Yeah, I just would have like not become a part of the Brotherhood in the first place because it's not a place for me.
I would have like ran away or something.
Yeah.
It's not like they can
Yeah,
track him.
exactly. Like they so now Maximus has the power armor and no knight, so he's basically doesn't need to answer to anybody um until the Brotherhood sends him a new squire, because he does a stupid thing and he's like, okay, what do I do now that my knight is dead? He's like, if I go back, they'll kill me, because they just like kill, they're so kill happy at
I
this brother.
know. You're kind of on a rare part of like population. Oh, you fuck up, well, you die, and it's like, all right, fuck.
Yeah, you need to be less harsh because you're gonna kill all your numbers. um so he lies to the Brotherhood that like radio him, and he pretends to be Knight Titus. And I'm just like, you could, I'm like, maybe they'll kill you, but I don't know. It seems worse to lie in this situation.
He's
You could
gonna
just
get
say,
caught. He's gonna get caught.
yeah, because you could just say like an irradiated bear attacked us, which it literally did, and killed Knight Titus. But the power armor got banged up, but it's okay. And it's like Maximus just wants like the power armor, which understandable. He just wants to be, he doesn't want to be a squire. He wants to be the one in the power armor, which I guess is fair because who doesn't want to have power armor? But he flies in and like smashes into one of the houses of Philly and meets Lucy while they're under attack by the ghoul. Because Maximus is trying to be like the hero that saves the girl, and he's trying to be all knightly and heroic, and it's like, oh, they smile at each other, and I'm like, oh, it's a meet cute. Like, how sweet,
How cute.
how cute. Um, so they like the ghoul is taking out everybody. It's a massacre by the ghoul. The ghoul is OP as fuck.
He's just a G.
And
He's just goaded.
and he shoots off Dr. Wilzig's leg. I'm like, the poor doctor is just
Oh,
trying to
dude, and that part where like they put on that weird meat grinder fake leg thing, I was like, oh, brother, he's gonna
I
bleed
know,
out.
and it's like later on, like Lucy and Dr. Wilzig are able to escape, and Dr. Wilzig is like, I'm trying to find Maldive, so you can just stick with me, Lucy. And because we're looking for the same person, and he knows that Lucy's a good person. But they they walk away, and he's like just walking on this bloody stump of a steel leg, and they stop to rest, and it's like all bloody, and
He's
it's
bleeding
like
out.
he's bleeding out through the stump of a leg. That's it's like, oh, okay, so he's got this new leg reattached onto him, and it's like, oh, that didn't help at all.
Should have
I was like,
cauterized that
why?
fucker. Should have
I know, it's like,
cauterized it.
why did you do that in the first place, man?
It's brutal.
It was. I was like, poor
So
doctor.
brutal.
I knew he was gonna die. Because I know, like, in the posters and stuff, you see Lucy with Precious and no doctor, and I'm like, oh, but it didn't really work out that way in the show. But um, Precious kind of goes off with anyone else but but Lucy. Um, but so the doctor takes out a handsaw and is like, Lucy, take my head to Maldive. The artifact is in my head, so you can't take my whole body with you. So just cut off my head. And she does that. She's like, if I have to live in this place and do some awful shit, like, so be it, to get my dad back. And it's like, poor, I love Lucy. I
She's so
think Lucy's
nonchalant about it. She's like, okay. I would be
she's such a
like
badass.
horrified. I'd be like, I'm about to cut your head. All right. Fuck.
I
All
think she's
right.
a
All
little
right.
horrified.
A little bit, but she was just like, okay. Like, she wasn't super hesitant about it. Like, a normal person would be. She was just like, well, I gotta fucking survive, like you said, and just go with the flow. But that's not
Yeah,
really.
I mean, girl is driven. I love her. I love her character.
She is good. Pleasantly surprised. Usually I hate female protagonists, and I didn't
Yeah,
hate
I'm
her.
surprised you like her.
I know. Shocker. Ah!
So, oh, okay. Oh, let's see here. And what next? What
Well,
next?
basically, she takes the head and she starts her journey, and she's with Precious. And Maximus, his armor's damaged by the ghoul, so he's having to like pull out his teeth to get bottle caps to repair his suit. And the bounty hunter's on his way to chase after Lucy and the scientist.
Yes. So, I just love how they make the head. Um, like, I don't know, just like as a prop. And immediately in like episode 3, she's like taking the head, she's just like looking at it and picking at it, and she puts a tracker up the head's nose. And I'm like, ew, Lucy is harder than she thinks she is. She can survive
She's
on the
very
surface.
resourceful.
Very resourceful, very smart. Meanwhile, like Maximus is like trying to take down raiders that are trying to mess with his suit, the power suit, and of course he gets the shit beat out of him. Like, of course. And, uh, but he's able to actually fend them off when he's able to get like one arm into the power armor and like explode very graphically one of the raiders' heads.
It was a very graphic show. Very
Very
graphic.
graphic show, yeah. And then stupidly responds to a radio signal from the Brotherhood saying that, oh, my squire died. So they're like, oh, we'll send out a new one. And he's like, no, don't do that.
And it's the
And
fucking guy that bullies him.
yeah, it's one of the bullies. And oh, also with the squires having to carry those huge ass bags. The first, like in episode 1, when you see Maximus carrying the squire bag, which is like the size of a human, it's bigger than a human. Like it must weigh like 200 pounds. I
Right?
was like, oh my god, how do they carry that? But whatever. It's I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. But yeah, his new squire is one of his bullies from the brothers' base. And he's like, oh, well, I'm parading under the disguise that I am Knight Titus and not Maximus. So he just stays in the power armor, doesn't show his face. And when you're in the power armor, your voice gets masked,
Mm-hmm.
like uh through like a voice modulator or something.
Yeah.
And he is like he's trying to like make not make fun. He's trying to like Hayes. That Thaddeus is the name of the bully in New Squire. So he like uh kind of puts Thaddeus through the ringer, and he's like, "Oh, did you know Maximus? Like, what was he like?" And he Thaddeus is like, "Well, he was kind of like the new guy, so everyone picked on him and bullied him, but before him, I was the new guy and I was the one that was picked on." So it was kind of like the circle of life being picked on as the new guy, and then he was like, naturally someone else would be the new guy, so he was like just waiting for Maximus to not be the new guy anymore. So there's like some sort of, I don't know, closeness to
They
get
start
brotherhood.
bonding.
They start bonding, and he still doesn't like say, "Hey, I'm actually Maximus." It's like, no, he just rides under the delusion that he's king, that he's Knight Titus to this guy. I do love the naming for the Brotherhood, though. I love all the names.
Well, whenever I hear Knight Titus, I think Titus from Warhammer, who's a fucking goat.
Oh,
So I feel like he's kind of Warhammer Titus is being fucking insulted, but two separate universes, no relevance, just name. But yeah, no, the names are pretty good. Yeah, and then we like kind of fast forward as him and Thaddeus are on their way to chase the relic. What's her face? Lucy, and um ends up getting the head taken by a monster because she stopped somewhere, and then the ghoul.
yeah, it's like a monster axolotl or something.
Yeah, and then the ghoul like kind of tortures her to like lure the fucking mutated creature to bring the head, and then he kills it and then gets the thing back. And then he drags her along as like his prisoner. And they're
Yeah, well,
having all that communications. Like he's like, "You don't know shit," and she's like, "But my morals," and he's like, "Fuck your morals."
yeah, and after you get to know the ghoul's story, like how who he was originally, like the ghoul has had to like he doesn't have any morals because he's had to live so long in the wasteland,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a ghoul now, which we learn in the next episode. But yes, he tortures and uses Lucy as bait to get the big monster, and they're not even successful with that. The monster gets all of his supply of, I don't know, like
we'll just call it.
Radaway
We'll just call it ghoul juice. I forgot the name
ghoul
of it.
juice.
It might be
Okay,
Radaway. I don't know.
I do not remember what the like all the ghouls have to take medicate like ghoul juice in order to
Yeah.
not go completely crazy
Feral.
and
Yeah, so they don't turn
feral.
feral. Yeah.
So the monster takes his whole stash because of Lucy, and he gets super pissed at her, and they basically have to
Side
not
quest.
have to do a side quest. They forget about the head for now, and so Maximus and Thaddeus are able to track down the big sea monster and kill it in like a very stressful way, because Thaddeus almost gets eaten, and I thought he was going to get eaten. And you see
Same.
inside the mouth of the sea got the mutated axolotl, there's a bunch of fingers.
Yep.
I was like, oh, gross. And they end up killing it and getting like the
Getting the
monster
head.
vomits
Yeah.
and gets the head. And I was like, ew, gross. But they got the artifact. Yay. Um so they're happy together right now. And back, I love that we I love that they didn't leave Vault 32 behind or 33 behind in the story, because meanwhile, while all of our main characters are doing their own thing, Norm, Lucy's brother, the black sheep of the family, is investigating Vault 32 and Vault 33 and like what happened to Vault 32, because there's like skeletons left behind there that looked like they were like killing each other and killing themselves, like wrapping cords around their own necks and stuff, and it's like really creepy, like kind of like Dead Space kind of shit.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That was, I think, one of the most interesting parts of the show for me, is what was going on with the vault. Um, and he like takes Chet, which is their cousin, who was like fiddling around, which goes back to like the gene pool thing. Their cousin Chet was fiddling around with Lucy, and he's like, "I'm in love with you, Lucy," and Lucy's like, "You're my cousin." you,
She's like,
I think
gross.
like I'm assuming it's first cousins or something, and
Mm.
it's like, we can't marry each other. It's not right. And I was like, ew, gross. And then he gets like hooked up with Lucy's friend whose husband died in the whole massacre by Vault 32 people. And she got her eye stabbed out. And I was like, oh, I really wanted to like the friend, but I think she's not to be trusted.
No, she's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. She kind of went fucking nuts after her husband passed. I feel bad for her, but it was also really creepy. Like, everyone needs therapy.
I
Oh
mean,
my
if you
God.
live in a vault your entire life, wouldn't you go crazy?
Yeah. And somehow, even though there was so few left of Vault 33 in after the massacre, somehow they capture some of the raiders from 32 and imprison them, and they're trying to make them into regular citizens. And
They're
I'm like, this is a
crazy. What the?
terrible idea.
They're just stupid people. They're just like,
I,
it shows how fucking stupid these people are in the vaults.
yeah, way too optimistic in parts. And it's like, I wrote a note, I said, no, don't rehabilitate the raiders. Oh my God, you fucking idiots. It's like putting 16 serial killers loose inside a pre if you do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
And now that Lucy's dad, who was the overseer of Vault 33 originally, now they have like three overseers instead that were kind of be- like a rung below like Lucy's dad as an overseer. And they're going to have like a presidential election eventually later on in the show, but for at the beginning they're trying to figure out things to do as a threesome, um, with the vault, and figure out what to do with the raiders and everything, and they all have different ideas. And I'm surprised I thought for sure they would be killed, but they stay throughout the entire season.
I'm not shocked. The way the vault dwellers are, they don't understand how the surface works, so they go by like the rules. And something like to touch upon, as all this is going on present day, you get flashbacks from Cooper Howard's time, and you see that his wife Barb works for Vault-Tec, and he starts, a lot of weird things are going on, like interactions with him and his wife's colleagues, and you learn kind of throughout the story, like trying to move this along quickly, like Vault-Tec is actually the big bad. And when you play the Fallout games, you don't know who threw the first bomb, because it was America versus China, basically, after World War II. Like, who's going to throw the first nukes? Because the way Fallout is set is that people were making all this tech to make life easier. So robots that did stuff for you, versus like how our world is we made appliances better, more like energy efficient. Like, we went the energy efficient route, versus Fallout did not. They did it based on convenience, right? So they were running out of resources. So there's like the big corporate parts of like behind the scenes, not just Vault-Tec, but you have like robo something. You have West. I forgot all the names of the corporate companies who are meeting, but
Mm-hmm.
you realize, like, Walter Goggins had like these rose-colored glasses, kind of like Lucy, until he starts finding out the truth. And you see that he meets Maldive towards like the middle of the season. In present day, you see like you meet her because his friend, who's a Native American's like, bro, like Vault-Tec's actually fucking bad. And he's like, no, my wife works for them. They're just a tech company and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, there's some fucking shit. And he's like, you believe in conspiracy theories, like kind of deal. And you start seeing like you first see like a Pip-Boy in the 1950s, and you're like, whoa, like Vault-Tec. And the fact that Cooper Howard's wife is like a bigwig in Vault-Tec, like he starts kind of questioning things because like people start putting stuff in his head, and like his wife is so dodgy about it. But the biggest thing for him is she's like, oh, I'm gonna get us a really nice vault, and it's a vault for managers, like where we manage the people. He's like, cool. And they have like a family dog, and they won't let, she's like, you can't take the dog. He's like, why the fuck can't I take a dog in the vault? She's like, we'll have to leave him. And he's like, no, because he's really attached to the dog, because like throughout like the flashbacks, the dog's always there with him. And so he starts kind of being sussy baka when like, I can't take the dog. Like, why can't we take our dogs with us? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, why are there all these rules that just come out of nowhere? Like, who makes these rules?
Yeah, he's like, what are, like, because like he starts hearing about all these rules about being in the vault, and he's just like, I didn't fight a fucking massive war for freedom when now I have to live with all these fucking rules, you know? And it's so that when people start putting shit in his head, he starts like, starts kind of questioning things. And I thought that was interesting. But yeah, anyways, back to whatever you're doing. I have some like interesting stuff about Vault-Tec from the games and stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember like the main. I didn't finish Fallout 4. I got like really close to the end, but I did too many side quests with like the Minutemen settlement and stuff, and the Railroad. My favorite factions are the Minutemen and the Railroad in Fallout 4. I don't know if you have those two in the other games.
No, I don't.
So many factions.
When I played Fallout 3, I did some side quests, but not a lot, because I did the DLC. I unfortunately did the DLC first, and then the main game, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I've never played a Fallout game, so I didn't know where the fuck I was going, but somehow I ended up in the DLC before. Anyways, Fallout 3 is about, it's kind of like, it kind of starts off like Lucy's. Like, you're born in the vault, your dad raises you, tells you to stay here, but then he escapes, and then you find out, oh shit, and the vault's going to shit in a handbasket because of rad roaches and some other shit. And so he goes to the surface to find his dad, and he like, kind of like same thing as Lucy. Everyone's like, oh, you're a vault dweller, what are you doing up here? And so he starts getting like mixed up with all these people, and basically his dad and his mom's dead. Whoa, you know, kind of like Lucy's.
Oh,
we're working on a project together to purify the water, and then it got like, she got killed or something, and so what they needed to find, like, you go searching for your father. Like, this is Fallout 3 in a nutshell. You go searching for your father, you find all these factions, and depending on what you pick, you can either give the water to the Enclave or to the Brotherhood. And I was just like, fuck this shit. Fuck the Enclave for one. I destroyed the Enclave. I teamed up with the Brotherhood because, like, you don't really have a lot of, like, options. There's not a whole lot of, like, factions in 3 that I experienced. And so basically, you look for what's called a GECK. It's like the Garden of Eden Creators Kit. So it helps you rebuild a society, essentially. And they need the GECK to turn on this purity. It's called Project Purity. And so I teamed up with, I had my own dog, and I teamed up with a ghoul named, I think his name was Fred. I released him because he helps me find a Gek. And then you like go through the wastelands, whatever. You find your dad because he's stuck in a simulation by another scientist, and you destroy those simulation. Scientist gets all pissy, but you're like, fuck you, and you find your dad. And then the Enclave, as your dad's turning on the Project Purity, he burped, sorry. He the
We're all
Enclave
birthday.
the Enclave infiltrates, and like they're like, either give it to us or die. And so the dad sacrifices himself and like doesn't give him the code, and then he dies. And so then you go on some more side quests, and then the Enclave kidnaps you, and you have two options with the Enclave: give it to the commander who wants to quote unquote save humanity, or give it to the president. And the president ends up being like a bot, an AI bot. It's not a real person, and he wants to like put this like chemical in the water that kills anything that's mutated. And so it basically wipes out like ghouls, anything mutated, but even if humans have like minor mutations, it'll kill them. So I said, fuck the Enclave. Y'all can suck my dick, 'cause you're assholes. So I killed the Enclave. Then I get the Gek, and then I turned on Project Purity, and then I teamed up with the Brotherhood to hunt down the rest of the Enclave and blow up their shit. And then that's kind of the end of the game.
Okay.
That's Fallout 3. Like,
Wow.
I didn't. The DLC is about like the fight with the Chinese over Canada, because Canada still had resources, and then like the US and Canada didn't get along, and blah blah blah. So then I infiltrated and I killed all the Chinese and took over that. That's all I remember from the DLC. It's very hazy to me because I like breezed through it because I fucking hated every moment of that, because you're not supposed to go there. It's like in game, and I did it. It was the first thing I did in Fallout 3, so it was painful to play. But that's Fallout 3 in a nutshell. So like Fallout 3, like the beginning and like kind of chunks of it take a whole lot from the Fallout show, like going to the surface, finding your dad, blah blah blah, trying to figure out this thing, and instead of water in Fallout, it's energy.
Yeah. That's like with 4 is it starts out in the 1950s, when the bomb it starts out when the bombs hit, and it's like you go to the vault immediately and go into you're cryo frozen,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's you get to be the husband or the wife if you want to be male or female main character,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a son, like a baby, an infant son that's cryo frozen too, and some people just come in and take your baby while you and your husband are cryo frozen, killing your husband or your wife depending on if you choose to be male or female. And so the whole thing is like finding your son, in Fallout 4. So instead of a dad, it's a baby boy.
Oh wow. Yeah, and I played part of Fallout New Vegas, but it runs so shit on PC. No amount of mods can make it work for me, at least. But I did a huge chunk of Fallout New Vegas before I gave up because it crashed so much, but I watched a video that explains the story. So Fallout New Vegas happens 3 years after Fallout 3, and you actually play a courier, and you're born like this one doesn't start in a vault. You're actually on the surface, and you're supposed to deliver a package to somebody, but then you get beat up and like killed, like quote unquote killed by like these like gangsters, and they take a chip. It's like a poker chip, and like somehow, even though you got shot in the head, you wake up and like they're like, the people are like, oh, you need to find this person. So you're looking for the person who fucking robbed you and tried to like basically try to kill you. But then you learn, like, you end up in New Vegas and you meet Robert House, who's actually a huge, like, you see him cameos of him in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he runs New Vegas. He was able to save basically the strip of Las Vegas. And depending, like, I think there's like 4 or 5 endings to New Vegas. But basically, all these people want control of Vegas and the Hoover Dam for energy. So that portrays into the show, right? It's, if you can control energy, you basically control, like, the wastelands. And all this is based in, like, the Mojave Desert. So
Oh,
like you have the Brotherhood, you have the Enclave, you have what's called the Legion, who think they're Roman emperors and shit like that. They're really stupid. You have the Great Khans. You have
well, guess what's been leaked from season 2?
well, at the end of season 1, you see Hank, who turns out to be a big piece of shit, and we'll talk about that later. Lucy's dad. You see him in the
Yeah.
horizon, then you see he's running towards New Vegas.
Really? That's what
That's
he's
New
running
Vegas.
for.
That's New Vegas.
Because there has been images leaked of season 2 of the Legion, so they don't know if it'll be like in recap, if like it'll be flashbacks or if they're going to be a
Yeah, the
different
Legion. So
option for season
basically,
2.
in New Vegas, you're fighting over control of New Vegas and the Hoover Dam, mostly the Hoover Dam because it generates energy. And the Legion, House, and the New Republic of California, or California Republic, or whatever it's called, are trying to like control it. And like what House wants to do with the chip is he controls the strip, and like 95% of the energy is on the strip, and then the other 5% goes, no, 95% goes to the New Republic of California, and 5% powers the strip. But the Legion wants the control of it, because then the Legion, basically that faction, just wants to like take over the entire world. They're just like this, they base it off Roman rules and all, like they just go ancient Roman warfare style. They're fucking crazy.
No, they're very Spartan.
Very smart. They're fucking crazy, dude. They're insane. And so you have many options. You can side with what's his name is Yes Man. He's like a sentry bot. Or you can side with House, or you could side with the Legion, or you could side with the New Republic, or you can side with somebody else. Either way, basically, I didn't finish the game, but I saw all the endings. Like the pretty much the I think personally, I don't think the New Republic of California is the greatest, but they're kind of the lesser of the evils. But I would have gone with the Yes Man, because he takes over. He's like a security bot. He puts his like database into, or his like into the mainframe of like New Vegas, and he runs Vegas, and like all the citizens like prosper from trade and all this. And that's that. If you give it to the Legion, they kill and enslave everybody and start moving east. And if you give it to House, he starts taxing and a lot of people get fucked. And then if you give it to the New Republic, they kind of like make things better, but then anyone that's old can't live there because it gets too expensive and they're taxed too heavy, so they have to leave. So like it's like this whole, like every option sucks. And like I think a
Yeah.
really cool thing that the show does that it takes from the games that is that no matter what these people say that they're trying to do the good for humanity, it's all their own personal agendas.
Oh
And
yeah.
something that really taught the show really tied for the games that I would have never figured out, because I don't want to read all the fucking logs and listen to all the shit, because there's just so much shit in the games, is that all of Fallout was based on resource wars. All of it. It was a resource wars with China and then the rest of the world. And Vault-Tec and all these big corporations, like Robert House owns like Robo something. It's like a security thing. And then you see Bud, who's in the show. He's the one who created the Brotherhood art, like the
Yeah,
TI-45.
buds.
Yep. And then Barb, who's Cooper Howard's or the Ghoul's wife, she's with Vault-Tec. Like she's like that at the end of season 1. He hears, after Maldive gave him like a hearing thing, like a listening thing, he listens to his wife saying, well, what if we drop the bomb first? And like you were talking about, like in the from the games and from the show, the shadow government, like the president and like these big politicians, reason why they created these vaults, it was kind of like create like them playing God and creating like Adam and Eve, and they wanted to create these perfect like society and make you, because they fucked up so
Capitalism.
bad with the technology that they made that all these resources are gone. And I'm like, so you guys think nuking the fucking world is going to make resources available? Because they thought, well, once the radiation got to a safe thing, then we could rebuild. I'm like, what do you fucking mean? You just killed everything on the fucking planet. That's not how, you know what? Stupid people win stupid prizes, right? And so, like, when you see Norm gets into Vault 33 and he sees all these cryo, what, what do you call?
31.
Yeah, 31. He sees all the cryo, like,
Yeah.
things.
So Norm uh is going behind, like, so before that, when, sorry, I just want to backtrack with
That's
that.
fine.
um when they're having an election in Vault 33 for the new overseer, like everyone's running their campaigns, like somewhat like fifth graders, like trying to
Yeah,
run for class president.
right? It's
And
exactly like classwork because they made little cute posters and stuff with arts and
yeah,
crafts.
and it's like everyone runs a clean race, and basically Norm is trying to do some like computer hacking and trying to figure out behind the scenes like how 30 vault, like what's in Vault 31 and what happened to Vault 32. And when he's able to go hack into computers to figure out where his dad and other overseers originally came from, it shows that all of the overseers in Vault 33 originally came from Vault 31, and they won with like a 31 out of 33 vote majority or so. No, wait, or maybe I was looking at that wrong. But basically, all overseers originally Vault 31,
Mm-hmm.
and what he finds is that uh, Betty get wins as the new overseer out of the three, and she's the oldest out of the candidates. I liked her at the beginning. She seemed like the very motherly figure that
Mm-hmm.
progressively gets
Mm-hmm.
creepier and creepier, and I'm like, oh shit, Betty, don't do this to me, because she was like the only one I liked out of the three originally. Uh, but the other two are just kind of idiots.
They're dumb.
Uh,
They're just like
yeah.
very stupid. Yeah.
Which is why I was like, I'm surprised you survived this long. And she wins the election, and I guess she won by cheating because she needs to win from Vault 31, but it's like it felt like they were talking about like how people chose her because she just has more experience and she's originally from 31. And uh but I don't know, it's kind of left up in the air maybe. But she is like, we need to repopulate Vault 32, which is a terrible idea because we
Mm-hmm.
don't, and none of them wanted to like investigate what happened in Vault 32, and they were like, oh, it was just raiders and that crazy lady. And obviously Norm looked behind, like when no one else, like snuck into Vault 32 and found all those bodies from the original vault dwellers. And when Betty says, like, we're going to select a group of people to live in 32 and some will stay in 33, and we're going to repopulate both vaults. Um, so some people get selected to go to 32, and it's like you don't figure out yet in season 1 if the people are in 33 are going to be safe or the people that go to 32 are going to be safe, because it feels
Exactly.
like something bad will happen to one of these groups of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, and when they go to Vault 32 to help the people move into this new space, it's all cleaned up magically. All the bodies are gone, and it's so creepy. And it's like, oh, it's you get to live on such and such lane with these nice mailboxes and these lovely, it's just everything's like brand new. There's fresh paint over like where people had scrawled bloody messages on the wall, and is some of it's kind of like haphazardly put together. um but yeah, it's like something's going on here, and Betty's
That
no good.
yeah, and it added like kind of a horror aspect to Fallout.
Yes, and so after that, Norm really figures out that oh, Betty is not a good person because she's like,
She's
he's
brushing a
just
lot
figuring
of like issues under a rug.
out under the rug. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Norm basically communicates to Vault 31 and figures out how to impersonate Betty. And basically, he's like, the mission in Vault 33 is not going according to plan. And Vault 31 is like, okay, you need to come here immediately to and so he's able to just walk right into Vault 31 when they open the door for him. And it's like there wasn't a gatekeeper at the door or nothing. And it's like, what's going on here? He steps into Vault 31 and there's just a brain on a room. It's literally called the character, or before you know his name, is called Brain on a Roomba. And you find out that the brain is Bud, and if you in the flashback, Bud, who is it Barb's underling?
No, Hank is Barb's assistant. Bud
Okay.
is the one who's made all the weaponry, like the TI-45. I don't know if it's called the TI. It sounds like a fucking calculator, but basically the armor that the Brotherhood used, he made 45, and the Brotherhood in the show is using 60. So it's the evolved version of the 45. So Bud is the one who works for a different, I forgot the name of the tech company. I think it's called like I can't. You know what? Fuck it, I don't remember. But he's new to the whole thing. So he's the one who always is like, "Oh, Cooper Howard, I'm a huge fan. You should come look at my stuff, and you should come do this." And Cooper Howard's like, "Yeah, fuck off, bro."
Yeah, he's like, oh, I have to manage all these people. I call them buds. And now in the future, he's a brain in a jar. And he says, and basically it's buds. All the people from the management part of Vault-Tec, like the higher ups, have all been cryogenically frozen. In not necessarily like the highest branch of Vault-Tec, but like some of the managers are, they'll Bud will unfreeze them one by one when a new overseer needs to go to Vault 32 or 33.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, Lucy's dad, or I guess we're skipping a little bit. So going back to where Lucy and the ghoul were in the story, the ghoul takes Lucy to basically an organ harvesting like black market and gets he trades her for a few vials of ghoul juice because all of his vials were taken by the sea monster. And basically Matt Berry is one of the robots.
Yes.
I love Matt Berry.
When I heard his voice, I just thought of What We Do in the Shadows, and I fucking laughed so hard.
I love Matt Berry. And Lucy was like, oh, I thought I was going to be like a sex slave or something. And he's like, no, I'm just going to harvest all of your organs. And he shoots her with a trank. She gets knocked out. And basically, she is able to wake up and escape in a really badass way. And basically, episode 4 is the episode where she figures out, like, if ghouls don't get their ghoul juice, then they turn feral, because they keep a bunch of ghouls just locked away that are going to turn. And she basically tells the people at the black market to let them all free. And it's like, if you know Fallout, it's like, that's not a good idea.
Even the guys are like, no.
I don't think we should do that.
No.
And she's like, yeah, do it. Everyone needs to be free. Then it all goes to hell there. But Lucy's able to escape because Lucy is amazing, and she gets like more badass, and she's like, definitely that kind of broke her. Kind of made her a little bit more like dirtier. And so she just takes like a bunch of the ghoul juice, and the ghoul is just like on the ground, like frozen in place, because without his ghoul juice he can't function and he's going to become feral. So she's like, I'm not like you, and drops off a bunch of vials for him to use. And he's eventually able to recollect himself. And then he goes back into the black market organ harvesting place that's now completely obliterated, and he's able to get like all the stash of ghoul juice, like crates of it, and drugs and injectables, and he's like, "Hello, this is my lucky day."
But it's not.
but but it's not, because he gets captured by the government.
They're not.
Like,
I don't think it's the
it's
government. It's like a
quote
sheriff.
unquote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like they're like
call themselves the government, but they're not
yeah
the Enclave.
yeah they're like a
And
different type. I don't know, another faction
yeah,
maybe.
um, and so Maximus, after that, like Maximus and Thaddeus are shooting the shit and get really buddy buddy. Maximus finally is like tells the truth, and Thaddeus is like, no, we got to tell the Brotherhood. And they're like, he's like, no, they'll kill me. And basically they get into a fight. Maximus accidentally crushes Thaddeus's foot, really gross, like
Oh
totally
yeah.
flattens it, like accidentally steps on it in the power armor. And he Thaddeus takes the fusion core from the power suit. So with no power to the suit, Maximus is literally stuck in this armor and can't move, can't get out. Luckily, Lucy comes along because she leaves the ghoul at the organ harvesting plant to his own devices. And then these two finally are together, and I'm like, yay! It's like, I don't know, they're kind of perfect for each other in their own
Right.
ways.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see here. Uh, I was like, how does Maximus just live in this armor 24/7? How does he pee?
Yeah. Exactly. How do you go to the bathroom?
Let me see. I'm just looking at my notes here. Um, it's like I hate the liar trope in episodes, and just
Mm-hmm.
Max said that so much. I hated that.
It's kind of frustrating because you're like, you know what's gonna happen. It's just gonna make it worse.
Yeah. So Lucy has trouble trusting Maximus at first, and she's like radiation sickness because the ghoul made her drink radiated water. And I'm like, girl, you already had like radiated cum in you. Like, you could have had radiation sickness a while ago now. But she lets Maximus out of the suit. They try to like, they're both like, try to trust each other, and they become friends, and they find a different vault um, at the end of the day, while they're trying to find the artifact.
Because they end up
And
it's what, Sunnyvale.
yeah, yeah, they go to, I think it's called Sunnyvale, right?
It's Sunny something. I'm pretty sure it's Sunnyvale.
So just, I didn't, before starting the show, I thought this took place in Boston, because my only experience with Fallout is Fallout 4, and that takes place in
Well,
Boston.
and the thing is Maximus's chapter, his Brotherhood chapter, is named Boston because they're in
Oh,
Boston. I
really?
think, but the factions' names are based on like their location. If I remember right.
Cause yeah. Oh, and like, so the railroad in that must, okay, that makes more sense, because like the railroad in Fallout 4 is based on the Underground Railroad in Boston, and you have to follow the actual route of the actual Underground Railroad to find the railroad, because the railroad is trying to get synths to safety from the Institute.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their whole thing, and that's why I love them. It's like the Minutemen and the Railroad are the most innocent of the factions, and that's why I love them. But they're also some of the weakest. um, but going back to the show, they find this new vault, and I was like, oh God, this new vault isn't going to be anything good. And Lucy is like, "Oh, it's a vault. Like the people are going to be amazing, and this place is going to be amazing, and it's going to be wonderful, and you'll love it, Maximus." And Maximus is like, I don't know. Like he hasn't had like a nice bed ever, or nice food, or fresh water like that. He's never brushed his teeth or had a shower.
Ugh.
and and then the overseer of that vault, I forget what numbered vault it is, but it's the one below Sandy
Is it
Brook.
like Vault 4?
It might be Vault 4. Um but when they get to Sandy Brook, it's like where Maximus is from. Then it had someone launched a nuclear bomb on it and completely disintegrated it. Um and that's how this no, the vault was there before that. But they've taken in a lot of Vault 4 has taken up a lot of surface dwellers that needed help. And then when you see when you see Maximus and Lucy in this vault, Lucy is like, let's fuck. Like they're just like just in this room while they're being detained in Vault 4 to start, and she's like, do you want to fuck? And Max
Yeah.
like, um I've never, I don't know, like it, this is bad. And she's like, wait, like he's like, what? And he's just so taken aback, and he's like, when you like touch your penis, it gets real hard and gross like a big pimple. And I'm like, oh god.
He has no idea what his penis does.
I know, he's like no idea how to make babies. It's like even Lucy in like her 1950s bunker has more sex education than he does. And she's more sex positive, and I'm like, I love Lucy.
Yep.
And he's like, no thank you. And she's like, okay. And just like sits down on the cot where they are. And when it zooms out of the room, it says test subjects above the door. And we're like, oh my god, what are they gonna do at this vault? And later on they find the overseer, who is Chris Parnell, from SNL.
Mm-hmm.
And he's uh he has one eye, not just one eye, but he's a Cyclops. And Lucy's like freaking out that he's a Cyclops, and Maximus is just like,
Like, this is
and,
fine. This is normal.
yeah, he's like, that's normal. But what's really weird is like showers and food, fresh food and caviar. Lucy seeing these other people in the vault, and there's like there's like people that are glowing blue, or like glowing blue eyes and veins and stuff. And there's a guy with a nose on his forehead,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they are like doing their own experiments. And um, there's people in the vault that are like, yeah, didn't Vault ever have any experiments? And Lucy's like, no, there's no experiments in our. We're just perfect, perfect civilization people. And meanwhile, Norm is like figuring out what the fuck's going on, and Vault's 33 through 31. It's like even worse than experiments. Um, but they eventually leave that vault. I don't want to get into that vault, and it's kind of like a side mission for Maximus and Lucy. And basically, it's like Lucy finds out shit about their vault, and then the overseer is like, has her buckled down to like get executed, she thinks, but he's like, you're being sentenced back up to the surface. And she's like, wait, what?
She's like, oh,
She's like,
okay.
yeah. And he's like, here is a goodie bag to go.
Yeah, and
a
it
funny
turned.
little side quest.
Yeah, it turns out that Vault, they're all refugees, and they're all the consequence of what experiments happened there, and that it's a
Yeah.
safe place, but they're very weird about it.
They're very culty. Like
Yeah.
they drink blood, and they're putting ashes from the irradiated people from Sandy, wait, what was it, the name of it?
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyvale. Like the ashes of the people from Sunnyvale that got eradicated. And it was like,
But
they all
we learn from there that Sunnyvale is where Maximus is from. That's where he was saved from the
Yes.
Brotherhood. And when a scene where he's like, it was bombed again, Lucy learns, as she learns, like, Sunny, like, she thought her vault was going to be the reclamation vault, but there's been people that have been doing the reclamation long before she was born, and that there's like 32,000 plus people living in Sunnyvale, and then it got nuked. And so we learn why it got nuked late, like at the end of season 1. But yeah, she starts like Vault 4 is what completely unravels her. That's
Yeah.
in my opinion. She starts because she's like, oh, it's great, and then like she starts seeing all this shit. She's like, what the fuck? And then like Max was like, this is amazing caviar.
I know.
Popcorn.
I was like,
he gets popcorn. Like he's just like losing his mind.
yeah, I was like, Maximus, stay on topic. Don't be.
He's getting sidetracked. He's getting sidetracked
by caviar. Oh my god! And TV, he was like watching a waterfall in black and white.
Right? He's so captivated.
And Lucy is just like being hauled away for like a supposed execution, and he's like, I just need a handful of popcorn. And fuzzy. Oh my god.
But they fix up his suit.
Kinda. They do, and he steals.
But she makes him give him back.
Fusion core. Yeah, and she makes him give it back. And he's like, okay. And then, so they both go back up to the surface, and they're wandering around some more. They find Thaddeus and with the artifact, because he took the head. And he is like, he's talking to Fred Armisen. Fred Armisen is a DJ that is putting like really sucky music on the radio, and I loved just the little details. Like he's like, oh yeah, all the people used to listen to this stuff back then, and it's like really warped, like 1920s music.
Yep.
And Thaddeus has gone on his own little adventures, and basically Thaddeus dies. So
he's turning into a ghoul. He doesn't die. He's turning into a ghoul, and they let him run away because he can't go back to the Brotherhood.
Yeah, they would kill him, and it's like, Thaddeus, you're on your own, I guess. But they take the head, or no, the Brotherhood is coming, so he says, Lucy, Maximus says, Lucy, take the head to Maldive so you can get your dad back. And he's like, I will try to stall the Brotherhood, and he takes a dummy head because there's a bunch of heads around this DJ booth, because he's like, there's like a bunch of booby traps so no one harms Fred Armisen.
Yeah.
And so they kiss, and it's like, yay, they kiss. Finally. And Lucy's like, come find us, and we can all be a big family in Vault 33, because 33 is like, Lucy doesn't know what's been going on in Vault 33. So Lucy finally gets to Maldive. Maximus goes back to the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood says, you've betrayed us, and like, because this is a fake head, and he's like, I can take you to the real one. And it's like, oh god,
idiot.
I know. It's like, what else could he do though, because he was gonna die. And basically his friend from episode 1, who was gonna be a squire, basically says, I was afraid of going out into the wasteland, so I basically injured myself, and that's why Maximus could go instead of me, and please let him go. So they let Maximus go, and they don't kill him. Amazingly, I don't know. And then Lucy goes to Maldive, and we all get all the revelations. I don't know if you want to interject.
Yeah, so Maldive is basically was working on a project to use cold nano fusion to create endless electricity. And basically anyone who owns that or has that can basically rule the wasteland. So Lucy gets there, and she finds out that her mom found out that there's people living on the surface and tries to leave. And when she gets to Sunnyvale, when she gets to Sunnyvale, Vault-Tec had bombed. Vault-Tec had bombed Sunnyvale because they were basically trying to keep the resource wars going on. And her mom survived, but she turned into a ghoul. Hank, her dad, turns out he is
like, he's a piece of shit.
He was the one who ordered the bombing of Sunnyvale, and that he is one of the people from the cryogenic sleeping pod things, and
In Vault 31.
yeah, and he's just a garbage. And then she learns that Maldive tells her like Vault-Tec's the one who like basically started all of this. You've been lied to, all the execs. Like you learn not just from Maldive in the current, but like in the past where Cooper Howard, he learns that the reason why they started the bomb, like we don't know if Vault-Tec did the initial bombing, but in order to make all this money and to create like give money to the shareholders and everything for this huge resource war, we don't know if the shadow government or Vault-Tec or any of these other corporations did the first bombing, but basically any competitors to Vault-Tec or any of the shareholders get nuked. And so the process just keeps going and going and going because the executives or the people that you see in the meetings with Barb, Cooper's wife, they want to basically create a utopia. They want to make money and they want to create a world where they rule it. And yeah, so they keep, like, Maximus makes a comment and so does the ghoul, Cooper, the ghoul, and he's like, people just making fucking bad choices. And they're like, that's why every faction, not just in the show, but in the game, like, they all... It's pretty spot on what like the end of the world would be, because people would just take shit into their own hands, make these cults or factions, and then think that they're better than the other, and it just creates this endless cycle of violence. So Lucy's like, I'm not releasing you, and he's like, release me, and she's like, no, you fucking, she realizes the monster of it all.
And yeah, her dad's a monster.
The Brotherhood, like, the dad killed the mom. And the Brotherhood infiltrates the New Republic of California, kills basically everybody, and Maldive, he's like, give me the code. He keeps telling Maldive, give me the code to the thing. And so Lucy gets the code. Maldive needs the code from Hank, and so Lucy gets the code from Hank, and it's actually 10/10/1997, which is the release date of the first Fallout game.
Oh,
yep. Huh. Fun Easter egg. But Lucy starts piecing together the Sunnyvale bombing when she's in the Vault 4 because she sees like a timeline and she's like, what the fuck? But then Hank kind of like, Maldive kind of put it together. So then the Brotherhood, Maximus is like, oh, I found you, Lucy, I'm here to save you. And then he releases her father and steals the fucking knight armor for Maximus because Maximus is a fucking dipshit.
Well, he doesn't know what's going on.
He's trying to be a knight in shining armor. Exactly.
Yeah,
like that.
He is. Which, like, yeah, that's really what he's trying to be. But he's like, oh, it's Lucy's dad. I gotta get on his good side, and like we can all be family.
So Hank, who's Barb's assistant in the past, knocks out fucking Maximus from the armor, and then Ghoul comes in, fucks the Brotherhood up, comes in, and he's like, just like looks at Hank and immediately recognizes Hank, and he's like, you used to pick up my wife's dry cleaning. Like, that's such a fucking shade. It's so good.
Okay, so when I love how they call back to how the ghoul knew Lucy from her last name at the very beginning, and then we do the flashback to when the ghoul was just Cooper in the 1970s or 50s, and it shows like a much younger Hank face on a guy. And I just gotta say one thing, sometimes like the 3D animation in this show is not the best.
Yeah, the CGI is not very good.
CGI is not good, like sometimes with the power armor and stuff, but the young face on Hank in that scene is so blurry and bad.
So bad.
It made me laugh, but yeah, just a little nitpick there. But
yeah,
it is a shock to see young Hank like so enraptured with like, oh, like the Cooper, like us movie star, action hero sort of thing. And now now he's in this power armor and the present time, and like he's this evil monster.
Yeah, and Cooper the ghoul holds up his gun and he's like, where the fuck's my family? And so we have a hint that we don't know if the daughter's alive because when the bombs hit, she was with Cooper. But the wife, like, was she frozen? We
So,
don't know.
so actually,
Oh, oh,
um,
oh, oh,
in
oh.
Vault 31, when Norm is looking at the screen of all the cryogenically frozen managers and people, you can, I paused that screen where you can see all their names, and Barb is on there, but it's under like the highest branch of managers, and it says she's under the section that says that these people have been released from their cryogenic
So
stasis.
she's released somewhere, so we don't know if she's alive or dead, but she's been released from the sleep.
Yep.
Oh, brother. So
But
yes.
their
Wow.
daughter was like their daughter's not going to be on there because she's not a part of Vaultec. So we and also Cooper's name was on there as well, um, under release, but it doesn't say anything about their daughter.
Yeah, so we don't know the status of the daughter and the wife other than quote unquote release, right? Like the
Yeah.
daughter, I don't know if she lived because when the bombs hit, she was with dad. So we don't know if she made it into a vault. But yeah,
Yeah. But
so
he seems to think his family is alive.
so he may know a little bit more. So maybe we'll find out in season 2. But the ghoul ends up letting Howard or Hank go, and Lucy's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "A pig is gonna a stuffed pig's not or some, I don't know if it's a stuffed pig, but a pig's gonna run to its master versus getting something from a capture pig or something." And so he's like, if you want to, he tells Lucy, if you want to know the truth and you want to figure out what the fuck's going on, then come with me. We're gonna go hunt them down, or you can, fucking stay here or whatever. And she ends up like killing. She sets her mom free from being a ghoul. She murder basically kills her mom.
Yeah.
Maldive is, you know, turns on the reactor, sees the electricity go on, and she's critically injured, doesn't have any stim packs, rip Maldive. And Lucy leaves with the ghoul and CX, aka Precious. And Maximus wakes up and he's like, what the fuck? And his friend ends up seeing an opportunity and starts saying, Maximus killed Maldive, all hail the knight, and they're all hailing him. And then it ends with Hank looking at New Vegas.
Now I got to play New Vegas because this show really makes me want to play Fallout.
I I've been trying to play New Vegas and I've downloaded mods to make it run, but it crashes so much. So if you get it to work, let me know. But it also it really I played 3 and it was okay. I downloaded like texture mods, but New Vegas did not age well. Not age well at all. But when I watched, I think I will not play any more Fallout games, like the ones that are out. They're dated. They don't run very well. Maybe Fallout 4 runs a little bit better. But the
I
show,
reinstalled Fallout 4 just to
mm-hmm,
play it yesterday, and
mm-hmm,
it still runs great.
that sounds good. Then I might try. I probably won't play it. Like I think Fallout is something I'll enjoy watching versus playing. Maybe if they created a new Fallout game in general, like I might
Well,
be open to playing it, but I don't know. I think I enjoy
well,
watching the show and watching other people play Fallout versus me playing it.
the latest Fallout game, like
76.
Fallout 76, did not get good reviews. It was kind of its release was kind of
Well,
garbage.
isn't it like an MMO kind of?
It is multiplayer. Uh, I guess it got better over time, I think, but
Like it's
I
a
have
lot of people
no.
say it's gotten better, but it's still
Mhm.
not. But it's more of an I think it's more of an MMO than anything. So
I'd rather go back to like the previous games.
like I'm interested in playing New Vegas, but after like watching a recap and like all the different endings and what happens, like I'm pretty satisfied. But Fallout show gave me more of an appreciation for the universe because the games I just was like not very interested in. I didn't enjoy it. It felt like it was a chore. But after watching the show, I was like, I can just watch the show and be okay with it. Like,
Yeah,
this
like
is
the
fine.
universe is so
It's
really is
interesting. it's
really
so,
good universe as a show.
yeah, and it's so interesting to see how these, like, it's like spot on, like I said, with if an apocalypse like that happened, at least in America, how people would act. And it's so spot on. And it's actually interesting to watch, and I enjoy watching it. And I'm open, if, like I said, if they made a new Fallout game, I'd be open to it. I would actually be kind of open to maybe checking it out. But I think it's fun. I'm invested more into the story for the show now. I probably will watch a recap video and the lore explained for Fallout 4 and go from there. But I don't hate Fallout anymore. I appreciate it. Do I love it? No, but I appreciate it.
I had a lot of fun watching it and had great twists. Um, solid first season. Highly recommend, especially if you're a Fallout fan of the games.
Yeah, 100%. And if you're not, it's just something fun to watch. And you don't need to play the games to
Yeah,
understand what's going on. Like it
because it
feel
really doesn't. It doesn't take any characters from
Mhm.
any of the existing games,
Mhm.
and it's like every game is pretty much is like standalone. So this is another standalone property of the universe.
Mhm. Mhm. It's good. I think anybody can enjoy it. It is graphic. Um
Yeah,
Very graphic, which I as an adult and someone who is an enjoyer of violence, very tickled with that, because when you play video games, you see gore and stuff, and Fallout is pretty brutal. It's a
yeah,
very brutal universe. So, good on them for showing some of that gore and shit.
yeah. The
But
biggest complaint is about like the CG isn't the best at
no,
times. That's my biggest
no.
complaint.
Yeah, I was kind of like, when you see young Hank's face, I was just like,
Yeah, I was like,
ooh.
oh, didn't take away from the scene for
No.
me, but I was like, mm.
But now I don't like Barb. I don't like Cooper's wife. I think she's a cunt.
I know I was
Don't trust a
I
hoe.
it was genuinely shocking when she
Right?
said that.
When she said that, and then, like, when I thought she was just like an administrator for Vault-Tec. I didn't think she was like top of the
Yeah,
top, like in the top
it seems
ranks.
that way.
And then when she dropped that, and like you see just Hank's undoing, or sorry, not Hank's, Cooper's undoing, you're just like, fuck this bitch. Fuck her.
Yeah.
But all in all, enjoyed it. I cannot wait for season 2. I'm ready to see more shit. And I'm gonna watch it as it comes out. I don't usually watch shows as they come out, but this one I definitely will, because it was really good.
I'm excited.
I know, I'm glad I got you to watch it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for recommending it for an episode because I'm really glad I watched it.
Yeah, and I'm
'Cause I
sure there's a bunch of
more than
lore.
like a few episodes a day because
Mhm.
they're long
They're
episodes,
long. They're long, yeah.
especially the first episode and the
Mhm.
last episode.
Yep. Yep. But I know that this is Fallout from our perspectives, off the research I did, the experience I had watching the show, and the experience I had playing the games. So this is
Yeah,
my knowledge of Fallout. I'm sure there is so much fucking more shit. I don't want to touch upon it. I'll just let it fill itself in as the show and stuff develops.
yeah, we're probably don't have like the best background to like know what's going on with the Fallout universe because we've both not played a lot of the Fallout franchise, but that was just our takes on it.
I enjoyed it, but hoped you guys enjoyed it. It's fun. Check it out. It is on Amazon Prime. Fun watch. It is long, so don't do like I did and spend 13 hours watching it in one sitting.
Well, it's 8 episodes. Usually they're about 40 minutes to an hour each episode.
So don't
So
spend 9 hours watching it
yeah,
like I did in a day. Spread it out.
a few episodes a day like I did.
Don't binge it like I did. I have no life. But We hope you enjoyed. I will put my show notes, and I know Tabby, if she has any show notes, we'll put our resources in the show notes for you guys, just where we got our shit from. So, but we'll see you guys in the next episode. And that's a wrap on this episode of Tipsy Geeks Unite.
Thanks for geeking out with us. We hope your drink was strong and your fandom stronger.
Don't forget, you can find us on all major podcast platforms, now on YouTube as well.
Whether you binge us in the car, at the gym, or during your next dungeon crawl, we're just a click away.
Like, subscribe, and leave a review if you enjoyed the ride. It helps more adventurers find their way to our campfire.
Until next time, keep your mana full, your opinions hot, and your geek flag flying.
Cheers, nerds!
Cheers, nerds!